What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the October 2022 Albuquerque Sunport International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's videos. Today we have another loaded Albuquerque update in store for you guys. A lot of moving pieces and overall a really good update ahead for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's get started. We'll start over here with the B concourse today because we have a lot of action. I'm really excited to dive into these details. So without any further delay, let's get started. Currently loading up right here at gate, I believe this is gate B4. We have the American Eagle bombarding a Acer Day-700 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This guy's currently making the non-stop service in from Los Angeles International Airport today. He's going to be heading back out there. Two Embraer 175s and a Acer J700. So a pretty good variety mix right there, and you love to see it right there for SkyWest on the LAX service as they operate it for multiple subsidiaries. Currently pulling into the gate right here, we have the Frontier Airbus A320neo. This is Wilbert the Whitetail. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from Las Vegas, and we'll be heading back out there. Very similar spiel to the last update that I gave on Frontier. Currently don't know exactly what they'll be doing going forward, but yeah, they're doing pretty good on the Las Vegas and then the Denver particularly is what I was getting at with that. Also got some tires added to the front again, so it's been a long time since we've seen those, but I'm glad to get these models slowly but surely adjusted. So glad to have those working, and they look pretty good despite being a little big. So definitely better than no tires at all, though I would argue. So very pleased to have it, and it looks very nice, to say the least. Very good right there. Currently loading up over here at gate B8, we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A320. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service up to Minneapolis, St. Paul today. This is still 4 weekly Airbus A320s, which is awesome. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you love to see it for Delta here. I think they're doing a really good job. I'll be very eager to see where they take it from here on their operations. So very good job here by Delta. This route's absolutely awesome, like I was referencing in the previous update, and you love to see it. Definitely a preference of mine, if you will. So absolutely love to see it there for Delta Airlines, and they continue to do a very good job, to say the least. So good job, Delta, on all those movements. Currently loading up right here at gate B10, you have the Delta Airlines Airbus A321. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service out to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport or Citrus Aviation's Airport. Again, another phenomenal aircraft right here. Very beautiful and just looks really nice. Getting some close-up views of this. Just absolutely pretty and really good job by NG Models as per usual. So Delta 321, service to ATL. And currently loading up right here at gate B9, you have the Delta Connection Embraer ER-170 filling in for SkyWest Embraer ER-175. Maybe it got announced in the October releases, I don't know, but hopefully so. I don't even know if those are out yet, so I probably shouldn't even be talking yet. But this guy's currently making a non-stop service today out to Los Angeles, and he came in earlier today from Salt Lake City in Utah, of course. So two very consistent routes with 3 daily services each, and they both have been big workhorses here at the Sunport. So eager to see where they go from here. But yeah, limited change in Delta section. But we'll have some more changes coming up here in just a moment. So beginning right here, we have the JetBlue Airways Airbus A320 in the I Heart New York livery. Beautiful livery right here. Love to see it. This guy's, of course, making the non-stop service in from New York John F. Kennedy. Really hope this flight's doing well, but they've continued to operate it, so I have to imagine that they bounced back pretty well in this service. So pretty cool. Obviously, it comes in as a normal flight and heads out as a red eye. So quite an impressive flight right there for JetBlue. Very nice. Currently pushing back right here from gate B5, I believe. We have the Alaska Boeing 737-800 with the non-stop service out to Seattle, Tacoma today. This service is currently on a Boeing 737-700. Quite a massive downgrade to drop the whole mainline frequency on the 737-900. So quite an interesting shift from September, but nevertheless, this is what we're working with right now. I hope to get a 737-700 sometime. Kind of want that NG1, but hopefully it turned out good. But nevertheless, we have the 737-800, which will suffice. Again, non-stop service today out to Seattle, Tacoma, of course. Came in from Portland, we'll say, since that is still a 737-800 5 times a week, as we'll talk about more in detail in just a moment. Currently loading up right here at gate B3, you have the American Airlines Airbus A319. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service up to Chicago O'Hare. So yes, Chicago O'Hare seeing multiple frequencies, and they actually flip-flopped what Alaska did. So instead of just 1 daily mainline service, now we have 2 daily mainline services to O'Hare, a 319 and a Boeing 737. There are some various routes in the network that are seeing 2 daily mainline flights that normally you either see only 1 mainline flight or that in a RJ. Tulsa, Charlotte comes to mind immediately. So I don't know if this will be a temporary thing for American or what their long-term plans are, but we'll see how it works. But hopefully they're doing well with that. It very well could be a Sharklet aircraft as well, so keep that in mind. But I believe it's probably going to be a fence tip, so it has been a Sharklet though in the past. So I'm not exactly sure, unfortunately, one of the disadvantages of pre-recording in advance, but it rarely happens. So, but nevertheless, 319 service to ORD. And currently loading up right here, gate B1, you have the American Airlines Boeing 737-800. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today in from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, of course. Going to be heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. Both services doing really well for American Airlines. Especially Phoenix is seeing even more frequency there on the 737, which is pretty impressive. And then Dallas, just multiple 737s. And of course, you also have the A319 a couple times a day too. And I think maybe one 175. So excuse me, very impressive lineup there for American. They continue to do a really good job. So good job by American. Very excited to see where it goes from here. Very nice. I could not find the Boutique PC12 for like 5 minutes, and it was that in the Jet Bridge were on my list on the last round of things to get for this round of Albuquerque, so my bad right here. But currently without Jet Bridge, you have the American Eagle Lumber ERG-175 on behalf of Envoy Air. These guys currently making the non-stop service today in from Austin, Texas. Austin's been a really good route here for American. I believe they're also flying these the Phoenix 2 with SkyWest, so that's been very nice. So yes, love to see it there for American. And again, sorry about the Jet Bridge, but it's one of those things that kind of happens and it can get away from you very quickly, as I'm sure you guys all know and have experienced before. Sorry about the camera work. But nevertheless, moving into our next round of aircraft, we have the United Airlines aircraft beginning right here at gate A3, I believe. Yeah, the United Airlines Boeing 737-800. Really glad to see this aircraft in here today. This guy's currently making a non-stop service day in from Chicago O'Hare. This guy came in earlier today from Denver. So really cool to see Chicago on the 737-800. It was on the 319. So definitely looks like United is committing to the mainline service on that and competing with American very nicely. So very good job there by American. Or sorry, United, and they're also flying these to Denver now, along with the 320 twice a day. They have the 737 service. So really good job there by United. You love to see it, and I think they're doing a really, really good job. So good job, United. Love to see it, and they continue to do really well. Speaking of doing really well, Houston is as well with this Boeing 737-900 service. You love to see United doing really well with this service too, as Houston's been hit or miss in the past, especially during the pandemic. We saw days where it was only 2 daily regional jets. So very nice right here for United. You can never take a mainline flight for granted, especially into an airport like the Sunport. So very nice job right there, and you love to see it. Speaking of which, almost all the aircraft here are all mainline. So that's really nice to see right there, even though American, United, Delta, I put in the best aircraft that come in during the month. But we mix it up every now and then, so you love to see it. Alrighty, right here you have the Spirit Airbus A320neo. This guy's currently making the non-stop service in from Las Vegas on the once daily service. This is becoming a new regular, and you'll love to see it here for the Sunport. Really nice flight once again. I really like what Spirit's doing here at the Sunport. I'm excited to see where they go from here. Who knows where the merger status is right now, if they have made any progress on that. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where Spirit goes from here. But nevertheless, we got their 320. Of course, like I said, hey, making the non-stop service today out to Las Vegas. Very nice. And currently over here, we have the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today in from Oakland, and this guy's going to have a continuing service today over to the Los Angeles International Airport. So Southwest continuing to do really well here at Albuquerque, and I love what they're doing here. They've always had a really big establishment, and they even have had bigger establishments in the past with services to like Seattle and various places in the network back in the mid-2000s, and the recession kind of killed that. But nevertheless, and other airlines also came into, like Alaska took over Seattle, and I think they may have had like Portland, Minneapolis, all kinds of really cool routes. So maybe a retro update in the future for Albuquerque. Let me know what you guys would think about that. I feel like that would be pretty fun. But nevertheless, we got the Southwest 737-700, again, non-stop service today in from Oakland, heading up to Las Vegas. Or Los Angeles, excuse me. We'll have this 737-700 currently pitching back service out to Las Vegas. This guy came in earlier today from the Chicago Midway Airport. So Midway's also doing really well here for Southwest. They continue to go well on that flight too. So Chicago Midway's been a pretty big establishment, and I need to look into kind of how the history of that airport developed, because I believe that Midway was the first built airport in Chicago, and they kind of built off that, and then, you know, by the time it was too big, or there was too many airlines of demand, Southwest kind of took over the airport. So need to look into that. Seems pretty cool. But nevertheless, Southwest 737-700, like I said, coming in from Vegas, it's heading out to Midway. And I see the 737 MAX 8 making its appearance today here for Southwest. Again, it's really cool to always see these after a very rough sequence, to say the least, back from early 2019 to I believe these got on, or I believe they all got recertified around the April 2021 timeframe, even though I think Americans started flying them as soon as December 2020. Nevertheless, it was a very long grounding, but nevertheless, we had the Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today in from Houston Hobby. This guy's going to have a continuing service today up to Phoenix Sky Harbor. So love to see it there for Southwest. They are doing a very adequate job, to say the least, and I'm excited to see where Southwest takes it from here. So good job by SWA. Speaking of which, we have one final aircraft at the concourse. This is Alpha 8, or I think it might be 6. I think it's 8, though. It's Alpha 737-800 in the Canyon Blue livery. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today. This guy's coming in from Burbank, and this guy's going to have a continuing flight today over to San Diego. So, again, very solid lineup there for Southwest. They continue to do a very adequate job, and I'm eager to see where they go from here. So, again, good job by Southwest. They continue to do really good, and I'm excited to see where it takes it from here. So, very good. Let's see it. Alrighty, painting over. Of course, this would be at the Terminal C over here, which is, again, about a foot behind the wall in a realistic world. But I did the best that we could here at the 400 scale. So right here we have the Boutique PC-12. This guy's currently making the nonstop service out to Carlsbad, New Mexico today. A very good EAS service here for everybody in New Mexico, and you love to see the Boutique utilizing that ability right here. So once again, very nice, and you'd love to see it here for Boutique. So very good job right there. Very nice. Last but certainly not least here, Gate Alpha T, you have the United Airlines Airbus A319 making the turnaround service out to I wish they had Las Vegas. That would be kind of cool. This guy's actually making the service today over to San Francisco. Been going really well in the main line. I think that's been a very consistent service, and you'll have to see the massive upgrade. Again, this was CRJ200 plenty of times in the past, and even dating back to pre-pandemic days. So always super happy with this, and again, really happy with United's efforts here, American's efforts, just everybody that's making efforts, because it's been quite nice. And you love to see all the mainline for the Sunport, so that probably means the passenger numbers are doing really well, and you love to see it here at the Sunport. Very nice, really cool. Over to the GA section, we have some more really good action over here, beginning with the Learjet 75 over here on your left in the oranges paint scheme. This guy's kind of making a non-stop service today in Amarillo, Texas. This guy's going to have a continuous service over to Denver Centennial. That I would like to visit the Denver area more thoroughly and even go to an airport like Centennial, so that's really cool. Not the best custom in the world, of course, but we got the Challenger 300. This is one of my very first ones, so I definitely learned a lot. Major problem with it was just the spray painting white just is really corroded, if you will, or whatever word you'd like to use. The actual blue and even the smearing of that. I don't think I put super glue on that, but that might be super glue. I'm trying to remember the reason why I would have put super glue on that. But nevertheless, as you guys can see, it's quite an interesting custom, to say the least. So that's kind of making the non-stop service today in from Los Angeles, Van Nuys Airport particularly. Let's go with. This guy's going to have a continuing service today over to Nashville. Nashville's a very popular GA airport. I loved the operation they had there when I was by. So really cool right there. It's very nice. Last but certainly not least, this is a Cessna 310. This actually is filling in for Advanced Air King Air 350. I got that wrong in the last update, so fixing that up today. This guy's making the service up to Silver City is where I was getting super confused. Silver City for Advanced Air, and again, hopeful for a custom soon. Thanks for understanding, guys. I'm just glad to be filming these updates with college and all, so very nice right there. Taxing into the gate right here, we have the UPS Boeing 767-300 freighter. This guy, of course, is making the service in from Louisville today. Very standard service, and you'll have to see it there for the synchronizing the World of Commerce airline, if you will. So, of course, previous delivery aircraft. Hope to get a newer one at some point, but honestly, the mold is kind of so I kind of want to wait to see maybe NG will do one or something like that. I don't know. Not a huge issue, of course, as this one's perfectly fine. So, I'm happy to wait till maybe the future. We'll see. Speaking of older liveries, here's that UPS 757-200 wearing that older paint scheme. This guy's currently making non-stop service today in from Dallas-Fort Worth and continuing out to El Paso. Very big cargo routes in the sector here for Albuquerque, so very good job right there by UPS. And the A300 freighter is currently making a non-stop service today in from this guy's coming in today from Ontario. This guy's going to have continuing service today over to again, always inconsistent, like it's those three: El Paso, Dallas, Ontario, and then just for the sake of today's update, we'll say this guy's coming in from Louisville because that's pretty standard there. So Louisville is also another very popular service. I think they may have done some Oakland too, so you could throw in Oakland too. So that would be perfectly acceptable in my opinion. And currently loading up over here, you have the FedEx Express Boeing 767-300 freighter. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service out to Memphis, Tennessee. It's great to think I've had this update or aircraft for 2.5 years, and I think it's been in almost every update. I think I got the DC-10 here a couple times throughout the pandemic. I don't think that came very much. I think maybe once or twice tops. But the 767's in a workhorse back there. Oops, sorry. And you love to see it right there. Very pleased with that effort on that aircraft, and it's done a really good job. So again, FedEx 767-300 freighter service out to Memphis, Tennessee. Taxiing over to runway 8 right here, we have the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-800 making the 5-weekly service up to Portland, Oregon today. Again, very happy this route's going very well. It wasn't daily, so they did reduce 2 frequencies, but this goes back to what I was talking about in the previous couple updates with, it's weird to see some of these mainline carriers operating mainline planes on less frequencies compared to a daily service on an RJ, which is mostly what we see. So personally, from the enthusiast perspective, I think it's really cool, but obviously from the logistics standpoint, and business model stuff, again, I'm not an expert, but you would have to think Alaska's not a low-cost airline. They're not going to be the guys to fly Monday, Friday only, so it's kind of weird to see that they're doing 4-5 times a week on a bigger aircraft like this, especially when they could do 175 daily. So doesn't necessarily throw it off like the promotion and everything, but it kind of just messes with it a little bit. So it is interesting though, to say the least. But nevertheless, let's honor this amazing, honoring those who served livery, no pun intended. What an incredible livery. Just huge thank you to everybody who served. Just an incredible livery to represent that, and just an incredible paint scheme, to say the least. Just take a look at those scimitar winglets, of course. Just all the applicable detail. That's awesome. 570 Alpha Sierra. I remember I did this unboxing outside in the morning one day, which was really cool. So, and like one of the very few videos that I was one of the first to get to review these models. But fun times. I would go back to high school any day and redo that, but I better enjoy the college because, well, I'm sure I'm going to be saying I'd rather go back to college or high school once job life's there, and then after that, who knows what I'm going to say. But nevertheless, looking good. Service up to Portland. The Exojet Cessna Citation X is currently getting ready to hold short of runway 08. This guy has a non-stop service today over to Fort Lauderdale. This guy came in earlier today from, I lost it. I had it on the tip of my tongue. I'm sorry, guys. Palm Springs. So, again, Exojet, very popular throughout the regions. This guy looks really good. Don't really know if I would try to do the wings again. Obviously, they didn't turn out the best, but I could go back over and see if I can improve it. But ultimately, still a pretty cool custom, and I thought it turned out really well considering, you know, it's a pretty simple livery and all. So Exojet Challengers Citation X, or just Citation X, currently making out there. Fort Lauderdale, heading out to Palm Springs. Very nice. I really like the overhead that I did on the last update, so let's do it for this guy as well. Currently on short final for runway 08, South Line 737-700 in the Florida 1 paint scheme. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today. Again, I wish I had a Florida route for this, but I do not. This guy's currently coming in from Austin, Texas, and continuing out to San Antonio, Texas. So very good routes right there. They do really well here at the Sunport at Albuquerque. And again, I wish Southwest didn't remove so many routes, but at least they added Burbank recently, and hopefully some more to come. So patiently waiting on those flights, and we'll have to see. And unfortunately, we don't have like a St. Louis or anything like that. So I think St. Louis would be good too. But nevertheless, it'll be very interesting to see where it goes from here. I think Southwest is doing a really good job, and I'm excited to see where it's coming from here and just really getting a nice view of this livery here. I think if I zoom out, maybe I could get it. I was trying to get it from that direct perspective, but this is also a good perspective here. So August 2020 release, so can't believe it's already been over 2 years for some of these planes. But again, time flies, you have to enjoy it, and yes, very good model by Gemini, and very nice, and just one more unique perspective because that's a cool angle. So very nice right there to round out the Albuquerque Sunport International Airport update for October 2022. I thoroughly hope you guys enjoyed this update. Again, not too much to speak of, just a couple pretty solid aircraft changes, but outside of that, not too much to speak of. Sunport's going really well, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So I hope you guys are too. Hopefully maybe a new route announcement or something by this point. Of course, I'll edit that in if so. Outside that though, not a ton going on. Still a really cool airport, and excited to see where it goes from here. Still thinking about maybe flipping this board over and making a airport on the other side of this board. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I kind of still need to trim off just a little part of that to kind of let it soak into there better, if you will. I've kind of dented up the wall a little bit there by doing that, so maybe bring up the jigsaw, but it is a really nice cut as it is. So I kind of don't want to touch it because this was the edge of the board, and then this was a cut, which this cut actually turned out really good. So nevertheless though, really cool redo. And even if you want to see what the original airport looked like, if you never got to see that before, I'll give you guys a little glimpse of it, because this is what it looked like back in 2018. You can check out the playlist at the end of the video. But yeah, I never removed it. I just kind of left it. Not really anything intentional, but as you guys can see, it definitely could have been done better, I would say. But still a pretty cool memory here for the channel, of course, and all. So really nice right there, and glad to see it right there at the Sunport. So with all that being said, that will do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.